The girl Sophie was turned into an old woman by the Witch of the Waste and wandered into a moving castle, where she met the fire demon Calcifer. Calcifer immediately recognized that the elderly Sophie was under a spell, and he told her that he too was trapped in the castle, providing power for it. After a day's journey, Sophie slowly fell asleep next to the fireplace. The next morning, the castle door was repeatedly knocked on, and a young boy came down from upstairs. The boy put on a cloak and transformed into an old man, who then opened the door. It was a messenger sent by the king, inviting Hal to join the war. The boy, having just taken the message, hadn't even had time to ask who Sophie was. The doorbell rang again, as another kingdom also hoped for Hal's assistance to win their war. Sophie gazed at the magical door, turning the switch to blue, revealing a beautiful little town. Turning it to green, the door opened to the wasteland. When she turned the switch to red, outside was a road leading to the palace. At that moment, the switch turned to black, and an exhausted Hal entered from outside, asking who Sophie was. Sophie said she was the cleaning lady, and without asking further, Hal personally made breakfast. While everyone was enjoying scrambled eggs, Hal suddenly instructed Markle to move the castle away, and he quickly left through the black door himself. Sophie decided to fulfill her role as the cleaning lady, picking up a broom and carefully cleaning every corner of the castle. That night, Hal returned to the castle utterly worn out and saw Sophie, who had reverted to her young girl appearance while asleep. She showed no surprise. She knew who she was, and she had always known. The next day, Hal screamed in agony, racing downstairs because Sophie had moved things in the bathroom while cleaning. Hal's handsome blonde hair changed colors. He cried like a child, thinking life had no meaning if his hair looked ugly. Sophie became furious, herself turned into an old woman with a face full of wrinkles. To whom could she appeal? Sophie ran out of the castle, crying in the rain. The heartbroken Hal began to melt, and as he did, the castle started to dissolve with tremors. Sophie quickly dragged Hal upstairs. Once recovered, Hal confided in Sophie that he was actually a coward who couldn't refuse the king's call to arms despite the dread of war. This was because he had sworn an oath to serve the country with his magic when he learned it. The disheartened Hal suddenly perked up, coming up with a good idea to refuse the king's orders. Have Sophie impersonate his mother to decline the king.